Welcome to Microchip's briefing. The content of the briefing includes: Alibaba shares plunge after reversing spinoff plan of cloud unit. Universities slam ridiculous proposal to cap foreign students. Walmart earnings, low fuel prices drag on stocks. Exclusive, Applied Materials under U.S. criminal probe for shipments to China's SMIC sources. Big U.S. funds shed Alibaba, Apple to curb China exposure. Alibaba shares plunge after reversing spin-off plan of cloud unit. Nikkei Asia. Chinese e-commerce giant Alibaba has scrapped plans to spin off its cloud unit. The company said tougher U.S. restrictions on chip technology had created uncertainty around the prospects of the Cloud Intelligence Group. As a result, Alibaba said a full spin-off would not achieve the intended effect of shareholder value enhancement. The company will instead focus on developing a sustainable growth model for the unit in fluid circumstances. The company also put an initial public offering of its Freshippo groceries business on hold, citing the need to evaluate market conditions and other factors that would contribute to a successful transaction. Last month, the U.S. tightened its export controls on artificial intelligence chips, including NVIDIA's A800 and H800 models, by requiring that companies apply for licenses if they want to ship cutting-edge AI chips to clients in China and other designated markets. Universities slam ridiculous proposal to cap foreign students. The Guardian. Dutch universities have criticized one of the leading candidates in next week's general election for suggesting the country has too many international students studying in English. Peter Omtzigt, a popular MP whose new social contract party is polling strongly, said that the country could face a labor shortage within 5 years if so many students at Dutch universities gained their qualifications in English before returning home. Omtzigt's party proposes capping annual migration to the Netherlands at 50,000, a figure that would include students. The Netherlands Association of Universities said that the Dutch economy needed high-level English speakers. Walmart earnings, low fuel prices drag on stocks. Wall Street Journal. Exclusive, Applied Materials under U.S. criminal probe for shipments to China's SMIC sources. Reuters. Semiconductor equipment maker Applied Materials is reportedly under investigation by the U.S. Justice Department for potentially evading export restrictions on China's top chip maker, Semiconductor Manufacturing International Corporation, SMIC. The investigation relates to Applied Materials' alleged sending of equipment to SMIC via South Korea without export licenses. The company first disclosed the investigation in October 2022, stating that it is cooperating with the government and committed to compliance with export controls and trade regulations. Big U.S. funds shed Alibaba, Apple to curb China exposure. Nikkei Asia. Key U.S. funds are reducing their exposure to China and focusing more on American tech giants due to concerns over a Chinese economic slowdown. Appaloosa has reduced its holdings in Baidu by 48% and Alibaba's and JD.com's holdings by 20% and 11% respectively. Tiger Global has halved its ADR holdings in JD.com and Conjuan. Soros Fund Management has sold 70% of its call options in PDD Holdings. In contrast, the funds have been increasing their positions in U.S. tech firms including Meta, Microsoft, Amazon, Alphabet, and NVIDIA. NVIDIA stock breaks hot streak, enters overbought territory. Yahoo! NVIDIA shares have entered overbought territory for the first time since July. The company's stock has rebounded alongside other technology stocks amid cooling inflation and hopes that Federal Reserve interest rates have peaked. NVIDIA recently announced several updates on its artificial intelligence processors, which has boosted trading. Lenovo sees signs of recovery in PC market and tech sector. Financial Times. Lenovo has reported its fifth consecutive quarter of declining revenues but said it was seeing clear signs of recovery in the technology sector that would power a return to growth for the world's largest PC maker by shipments. Despite macroeconomic headwinds that had caused a slump in demand, the PC market had bottomed out, said Chief Executive Yang Yuanqing during a Thursday call to discuss September quarter earnings. The Chinese company's Intelligent Devices Group, which includes PCs, tablets, and smartphones, was poised to resume growth and profitability as soon as possible, he added. Lenovo also offers AI infrastructure products, including servers with advanced chips from US companies such as Nvidia. These are expected to be hit by the US tightening restrictions last month on high-performance chips being exported to China. Eli Lilly plans new €2 billion German plant. Reuters. US pharmaceutical company Eli Lilly is planning to build a new plant in western Germany, according to sources. The company is expected to invest €2 billion, $2.17 billion, in the project, which will be fully funded by Eli Lilly. There are no details available on what the plant will produce, but it is expected to create at least 1,000 jobs. China's More Threads valued at $3.4 billion in funding before US curbs, sources. Reuters. Chinese chip design startup More Threads recently raised funds, bringing its valuation to approximately 25 billion Chinese yuan, $3.449 billion, just before being hit by US export controls. The company was added to a trade blacklist, cutting off its ability to have its chips manufactured by leading chipmakers that use US equipment. More Threads had raised around 1 billion Chinese yuan in a Series B+ round prior to the export controls. The company's valuation was priced at 24 billion Chinese yuan before the capital raise and increased to around 24.8 billion Chinese yuan after the injection of new capital. The company has not commented on the impact of the US restrictions on its valuation. That's all for today's news briefing. Let's recap the key stories. 1. Alibaba has reversed its plan to spin off its cloud unit due to increased uncertainty caused by US restrictions on chip technology. The company will now focus on developing a sustainable growth model for the unit. 2. Dutch universities have criticized a leading candidate in the upcoming general election for proposing to cap the number of international students studying in English. The universities argue that the Dutch economy needs high-level English speakers. 3. US stocks closed higher as investors gained confidence that the Federal Reserve will not raise interest rates further. Energy stocks, however, took a hit due to increasing fuel supplies and falling prices. 4. Applied Materials, a semiconductor equipment maker, is reportedly under investigation by the U.S. Justice Department for potentially evading export restrictions on China's top chip maker, SMIC. 5. Key U.S. funds are reducing their exposure to China and focusing more on American tech giants due to concerns over a Chinese economic slowdown. Now, let's dive into some analysis. Alibaba's decision to reverse its spin-off plan is a clear indication of the impact that US restrictions on chip technology are having on Chinese companies. The uncertainty created by these restrictions has made it difficult for Alibaba to move forward with its original plan. This highlights the challenges that Chinese companies face as they navigate the complex and evolving geopolitical landscape. The proposal to cap foreign students in the Netherlands has sparked a debate about the role of international students in the country. While there are valid concerns about the potential impact on the labor market, it's important to recognize the value that international students bring to the Dutch economy. High-level English speakers are in demand in today's globalized world, and limiting the number of international students could have unintended consequences for the country's competitiveness. In the U.S. stock market, investors are showing confidence that the Federal Reserve will not raise interest rates further. This has led to a positive outlook for stocks, with Barclays analysts predicting that stocks will outperform fixed income. However, energy stocks have taken a hit due to increasing fuel supplies and falling prices. This serves as a reminder that the stock market is not immune to external factors, and investors need to carefully consider the risks and opportunities in different sectors. The investigation into Applied Materials' potential evasion of export restrictions highlights the increasing scrutiny that U.S. companies face when it comes to doing business with Chinese companies. As tensions between the U.S. and China continue to escalate, companies need to be cautious and ensure compliance with export controls and trade regulations. The decision by U.S. funds to reduce their exposure to China reflects growing concerns about a Chinese economic slowdown. This shift in investment strategy could have significant implications for the Chinese market, as it may lead to a decrease in foreign investment and a loss of confidence in Chinese companies. In the banking sector, there is optimism for a recovery once economic transparency is available. While there are challenges ahead, such as higher provisions for credit losses, analysts believe that bank stocks are undervalued and have potential for significant upside. Finally, in the tech sector, Nvidia shares have entered overbought territory, indicating strong investor interest in the company. Lenovo, the world's largest PC maker, is seeing signs of recovery in the PC market and expects to resume growth and profitability in the near future. That's all for today's briefing. I hope you found it informative and entertaining. Now, I'd love to hear from you. What are your thoughts on these news stories? Do you have any questions? Let's start a discussion. Thank you for tuning in. The content above showcases the latest briefing reports and analytical synopses, thoughtfully curated by the 6Do team. These insights stem from a wide array of reputable media outlets, think tanks, government sources, and specialized experts worldwide. We encourage you to explore these sources for a comprehensive perspective. Keep in mind that while the content may not always align with the official standpoint of 6Do Brief, it's not meant to be taken as absolute directives for decision-making. Comprising seasoned media professionals, learned scholars, and accomplished scientists, the 6Do team embodies a trailblazing, fully independent media entity. To customize 6Do Brief to meet your professional needs, you have the option to subscribe to a diverse array of briefings on our website, 6dobrief.com. Regardless of your location, you can conveniently receive 6Do Brief via email.